Silicon Valley, technology, art, green, and sustainability. Welcome to another episode of Silicon Valley Tech, Art, Green, and Sustainability, SVTAGS.org. Today I have two gentlemen with me. I'm very honored to have you here from the Children's Musical Theater, and creative director and managing director, Michael Miller, and then we have Kevin. How do you pronounce your last name?
Hauge.
Hauge, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say something completely different.
That's okay. I'm definitely used to that, I can tell you that.
Not Hauge, saying something else?
Yeah.
What do you get?
Oh, you get huge. That's fun. Hog. That's always nice too. Hagoo. Anyway.
I get Miller every time.
And do you get confused with other Millers?
Yes, I do actually. The executive chef at the Capitol Club is Michael Miller also. There's a few Michael Millers
That's
around.
right.
Fairly common name.
And that wasn't a planned plug. Well, thank you for joining me. First, before we get started, can we have you guys tell us a little bit about yourself? We'll start with you, Kevin, and your background, where you were before.
Well, before I was the artistic director, I have always been involved in theater, and even as a young man, I've performed and then moved quickly into directing and choreographing.
And you're still a young man.
Well, you're very kind. Now we're talking. And I've been able to be a creative soul really since my early 20s. I've put shows up all over the nation, really all over the world, as that's where Michael and I are quite similar. I've had an opportunity to put up shows in cruise ships and in Las Vegas and Easter at the White House. I've really had a diverse career. But for me, 17 years ago, when I had the opportunity to come to San Jose and put up my first production at the Children's Theater, it was an incredible moment for me. My wife and I had just had our first child, and I realized that I had put up so many shows, but that I knew that if I could be a part of a community like CMT, that would change my life and my children's life, and I knew that I could make a difference in a lot of families' lives.
That's wonderful. So 17 years.
Yeah.
So you've been with the theater company almost half the time. Almost, not quite.
Yeah.
That they've been around, and it's an anniversary. And
yes.
Before we go there, I guess let's hear from your background too.
Sure.
And you
my
just started
path,
relatively a couple years ago.
Actually, instead of 17 years, I'm closer to 17 months.
Okay.
But it's very similar.
Okay.
I've been involved in the arts for about 25 years. I started out in the music business and got involved in theater in San Francisco, actually, and then had a chance to work in this community for over 20 years in arts leadership. Worked on the East Coast and a little bit on Broadway, and used to produce shows for cruise ship lines and corporations, very internationally.
Cruise ship lines together?
We were ships that passed in the night.
Thank you, thank you.
Literally.
And that was not a setup.
That's right.
But yeah, so I was working very closely as the managing director for San Jose Jazz, and we did a combination with First Act and Children's. I was doing a partnership with First Act to bring in leadership into San Jose Jazz, and in the middle of it, I got approached by Children's Musical Theater to come over, and Kevin and I have known each other for a bunch of years, and the chance to work together in an organization that it's very close to not very close to my passion, it is my passion. So it was a really good fit for me, and I'm still serving on several boards in the community.
I had known Michael for many, many years, and I consider myself so lucky to have a chance to work with Michael every day. And I must say, for our entire community, having Michael on board every day at the Children's Theater is an adventure.
Sounds like it.
In a good way.
We had fun just in the lobby out there. So tell me about Children's Musical Theater. And I know this is the anniversary year, so tell us a little bit about it. And
yeah, 45 years. A pretty amazing history with the company. Kevin has much more of that firsthand, but with the 45 years, we have a few things that are really central to our mission, and that is we're really kind of an education-based company, with performance kind of being the frosting on the cake, and really kind of watching our youth grow up through the theater, having people that have been involved with us for 30 and 40 years that still perform with us, that come back and join our board, that run our spotlights, that do everything with us. And we have been really recognized over the years. We've been received an award for excellence from the National Endowment for the Arts 9 times.
Wow.
We're not sure of another children's theater company in the country that's even received it once.
It's significant to us, I think, because we're recognized for artistic excellence. So what that means is they're acknowledging our work for the kind of work they're seeing on the stage, which means that, and I think we believe it's the only theater, you'll see our name up against the Kennedy Center or the Minneapolis theater companies, the Guthrie, et cetera, or the Goodman in Chicago. But it's nice to know that our kids that live here in San Jose are representing the country in terms of what young people can do in theater. But that's really not the most important thing to us.
Right, definitely not. It's
So-
much more about the educational process.
Correct.
So I was going to say, what's the main mission is education then, and how many children do you usually work with then?
Well, during a year,
Season, yeah, during a year.
between our camp, which is very vibrant, and we do 10 productions a year, which is 107 performances. Some of the shows are double cast. I think in the past we've actually had to triple cast shows because every kid that auditions is in. So nobody's ever been turned away during our history.
And kids get sick and what have you, so you have to have stand-ins and yeah.
Yeah, well, the kids get sick. I think the more interesting thing that happens in the process is the kids get focused. They learn priority. They learn that if they want to do what they love, they have to do their homework right. They have to get good grades to stay in.
You have to
They
go to
learn
bed
about-
early so they can get some sleep so they don't get sick.
They learn how to collaborate. They learn how to listen. They learn how to really be better citizens, I think. And that's really our mission, to turn out, just not to turn out Broadway actors. That's a rare occurrence. Although we've had, children's musical theater's had quite a bit of success on Broadway. We're proud of that, but that's certainly not our mission.
We always believe that our productions are amazing for our audiences, but we believe our productions are amazing. Our product is amazing because of the process. It's the process that's important in the work that we do, getting the kids to the finish line. And even in our classes, they end with recitals. Everything has something to aspire to because you need something to attach to have this line of creativity, this line of excellence that you're trying to help the kids achieve. You know what's really amazing too at the Children's Theater in terms of having young people involved and taking everyone who would like to participate. That means we have some kids that really have it in their head that they're going to go on to college and be performers. We have other kids that are going to choose to participate who have never been in a show before, even if they're 16.